Meow 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 meow. 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 It's spooky season, and we're off to a great start with a DIY Wednesday Addams dress. Keep an eye out for my friend Jack, and let me know in the comments how many times you see him in this video. I'm using this polo as a basis for my design. I pinned the waist and added a dart at the bust. I traced this onto my recycled paper bed. To add a dart to a pattern piece, I take the amount of the dart and I add that much to the side and to the bottom, and then I connect those two to create a point. I added 2 extra inches to the bodice right front and 1 extra inch to the bodice left front. To make the back pattern, I used the front pattern, cut across it to create a yoke piece. Kiki and I did some airplanes, and I got back to work. I used my traced sleeve pattern and extended it along the top. Then I took my arm measurement and added that to the sleeve to make it full length. I took my wrist measurement to make the sleeve cuffs, and these are my sleeve and cuff pattern pieces. I traced the collar, grafted a skirt, and here are my bodice and my skirt pattern pieces. And of course I added a pocket for good measure. Wednesday's dress also has this cute Peter Pan style white collar and wrist cuffs, and I'll be making these out of some scrap cotton fabric. I copied the cuffs from my pattern and freehanded the top part. I pinned down all my pieces and cut them out. Kiki checked in, but was not pleased. Back to work. To attach the fronts, back, and yoke, I used the burrito roll method, sandwiching the pieces between the 2 yoke pieces. I stitched the seams, then flipped them right side out. I added my darts and tied the ends to secure them. I attached the bodice front and back along the side and began making the collar. I flipped it right sides out and pinned the inner side to the inside of the bodice neck. Then I folded the outer side up and in and top stitched it to hide all of those seams. Next were the sleeves. I did a basting stitch on the shoulder and wrist, then closed up the sides. I gathered my basting stitch and attached the sleeve at the shoulder. Next, it was time to add the cuffs. I sewed them closed at the side, then attached them to the sleeve right sides together. I flipped them out and folded them over, top stitching them down to hide the seams. I added a little button panel to the left bodice by sewing it on right sides together, then folding it twice over the raw edge and top stitching. Next was the skirt. I attached the pocket pieces to the skirt pieces right sides together and attached the 2 back skirt pieces. Kiki decided to check in again and was much more satisfied with the progress. Then I attached the skirt front and back, sewing around the pockets. I attached the skirt to the bodice, making sure to match up the side seams. It's starting to look like a real dress. I folded over the right side button panel and top stitched it down to match the button panel on the left side. Since I'm using stretch fabric, most of the buttons will be non-functional. The only buttons that will actually function are going to be the 3 at the top part of the collar, so I can slide my head through the neck hole. I top stitched the button panel to connect the right and left sides all the way down the dress. I placed pins where I wanted to add my buttons and stitched them on one by one. Again, the top 3 buttons open up, and the rest are just for aesthetics. I added buttonholes and hemmed the bottom of the dress. Finally, I started the detachable collar and cuffs. I stitched around the edge, leaving one side open, and flipped them right sides out. I attached the collar pieces, attaching one side, folding the other side over to enclose the seams, and top stitching. For the cuffs, I tucked small pieces of elastic into the open seam and top stitched them down. I added corresponding buttons and they were done. After the fact, I added a lining piece to the collar to hold it flat under the dress. I'm happy with how it turned out. I think it's perfect for Halloween season and very spooky. Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow.